Good morning, students of class 9. You are welcome back to the classes now. Let's continue our lesson in history. We are doing chapter Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. And so far we have reached 4.1. So now here the Civil War. In our previous class we have learned about there were three groups. The Reds, the Bolshevik were called Reds, and Socialist Revolutionaries, they were called the Greens, and the supporter of the Tsar Nicholas were called the Whites. Now here in the Civil War, this is the second portion, supporters of the private property. These people, they supported the Tsar Nicholas, the Whites. Supporters of the private property among the Whites took harsh steps. They took harsh steps against the peasants, against the local people, especially the farmers, small farmers, who had seized land. Previously, Bolshevik had ordered the local peasants to seize land from the nobilities. So they occupied the land of the nobilities, and later on what happened? The supporters of the Tsarist Nicholas or Tsarist regime, or they were called also the Whites, what they did, they took harsh steps against the peasants who had taken their land, who had seized their land. So that was in fact a kind of revenge. So these local people or the peasants were severely punished. Sometimes they were put behind bars, or sometimes they were killed. So in this way they took harsh steps against the peasants who had taken up their land. Now number two, in such actions led to the loss of popular support. The people were scared. That's why the support was very thin. So there was a loss of popular support for the non-Bolshevik. There were many non-Bolshevik, as I have already mentioned in our previous class. There were Buddhist Muslims who also they lived there. They resided in this country. So such actions led to the loss of popular support for the non-Bolshevik. So they were confused. If they support the Bolshevik, naturally the Whites or the supporter of the Tsarist government, or you can say the supporter of the private property, they will come and they will thrash them or they will punish them. So that's why there was loss of popular support for the non-Bolshevik. By January 1920, what happened? The Bolshevik controlled most of the former Russian Empire. By January 1920, the Bolshevik, since they were in majority, they controlled most of the former Russian Empire. And they succeeded. They were successful to control the former most of the Russian former empire was occupied or under the Bolshevik control, because they were successful because of the cooperation with non-Russian nationalists. There were many non-Russian nationalists also. We have already learned about the people who followed Buddhism. There were Muslims also, and even Anglo-Indians were also there. So they succeeded due to the cooperation with non-Russian nationalists and even the Muslims. The Muslims who lived in Russia, they supported the Bolshevik. If they do not support, naturally the Bolshevik will punish them. They are in power now. So they succeeded due to the cooperation with the non-Russian nationalists and Muslims. If they do not support, the Bolshevik will punish them. And if they support Bolshevik, there was a risk that the Whites or the supporter of the Tsarists will also attack them. So there was a risk, but still they supported the Bolsheviks. Now here number 4, cooperation did not work properly. This type of cooperation with the non-Russian nationalists did not work where Russian colonists themselves turned Bolshevik. Now here is another. Who were Russian colonists? Russian colonists were actually the liberals, or you can say the supporters of the Tsarists, who had turned into Bolshevik, or who had changed into Bolshevik, or who were changed Bolshevik. They were called Russian colonists, themselves turned Bolshevik. These Russian colonists, they turned themselves into Bolshevik, and they did not support it. Cooperation did not work here properly. They did not support it. They did not support the Bolshevik properly. So here the cooperation was very clear. Now in Khiva, for example, here is an example given. In Khiva, in Central Asia, name of the place is also given here. In Khiva, in Central Asia, Bolshevik colonists, these Bolshevik colonists brutally massacred local nationalists. These Bolshevik colonists, Russian Bolshevik colonists, brutally massacred, brutally means harshly, cruelly, massacred means killed in great numbers. They massacred local nationalists in the name of defending socialism. In the name of defending socialism, they killed the local people in mass numbers, in great numbers. They massacred brutally. So in this way, in this situation, when this was happening, when this event took place, in this situation, many Russians or Bolsheviks even were confused about what the Bolshevik government represent. So, since vast area of the former Russian Empire was occupied or under the control of Bolshevik, the people were confused what the Bolsheviks are doing, what they represent. Will they be cruel later on, or will they do the same thing to other peasants? So that's why due to these situations, many people were confused about the way Bolshevik was ruling, the way Bolshevik government represent. So now in our next class we will talk about 4.2. This is 4.1. This is the Civil War. And to be continued, 4.2, making of a socialist society. Now here, since it is a very long chapter, it has been divided into a number of parts, subtitles. So in our next 4.2 part, we'll learn about making a socialist society. In the beginning, we have learned what is called socialism. So we have already learned, you don't have to put pressure on your mind or in your head, making a socialist society, having the same thoughts, having the same identity, same culture and the way of thinking, and they form a group that's called society, socialist. They think about the society in general. The people who always think about the society, work for the welfare of the society, these people were called socialists, having the same thoughts, having the same views. So they were called socialists. In our previous class we have learned in detail. Now I've just given you a little hint what socialist means. So making of a socialist society in our next class, that is 4.2. When you go through the online portal, you go through this point, 4.1, 4.2, 3.1, 3.2. In this way you will be able to find out in your book where we have reached, where we are reading. So there should not be any kind of confusion, because the title is given there, subtitle is given there, even the point, which subtitle point we are talking about. So this will not confuse. So it's very easy. You can look at the subtitle and the points, so you will understand where we are reached or where we are learning. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for your presence and your attention. Thank you. We'll meet in the next class and continue about 4.2. That's all for today. Thank you very much.